Hello, I am back once again, and today, well, is Friday. So, yeah, you know what that means. It means we get to do some more Stormworks, and we're going to be continuing the modernization of the ocean liner that I've made, which basically means adding more monitors, actually finishing it, and overall making it look more like something you would find these days instead of something you would find 50 years ago. Which means getting rid of all the dials and putting monitors in place. So yeah, let's jump into it then. I was in a little bit of a hurry, so I'm not sure if this is working immediately. That's my camera. I want to get game capture properties, any full screen application. All I wanted to know. Oh yeah, I need to turn my light on. Hold on. You see, in my hurry, I forgot to turn my light on with a remote. There we go. That's done. There we go. Now we're going screen recording everything. Everything's working and operational. Yeah. Let me charge my phone. Where did the charger go? Put it over there. Oh, I know why it's over there. Let's go to some notifications. There we go. Yes, you only have 10% left. I mean, it is a new phone, so it shouldn't be too bad. It still takes some getting used to, but I mean, I am managing it. Come on, come on. I think I need to fine tune the engine pits a little bit more. Yeah, it goes way over. But, I mean, these doors are definitely working. Huh? Okay. Oh, it's probably the waves. And I can't really let this ship go unharmed before I respawn it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna simply drop here, go underneath, put one there, put one here, and then because I wanted to sink in one direction, put one there, and then that should have do sufficient damage to these doors are done for. Engine room is done for. I should probably go up and shut this one then. Yeah, that should mean that everything is shut now. Oh. There's water there already. Ah. Alright, let's check the ship's state of flooding. So we are definitely lower in the back already. This door is shut because this room is flooding. The room in front of that is also flooding. This room remained clear. Here we have another room like that flooding. You have this room which apparently is getting water, and I see why. Just not enough, apparently. Did stuff get damaged? Did the pipes get yeah. The gearbox shot. Might as well turn the engine off, you know? We're dead in the water. But because we're sinking from the back, that is the least favorable way. Yeah, exactly. You see, this is where problems start to arise. Yeah, I can't really leave now, can I? Yeah. A slight predicament here. Because if I do decide to go full forward, it just doesn't go anywhere. If I decide to go backwards in any capability, I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna have to wait for it to properly sink around me. Or I try to grab the other one. Probably not worth it though, considering how far down we already are. I guess the only way to really make this go quicker is by doing this. And that. And that. And that. There we go. More flooding means more access to the lifeboats. Because right now we have everything going in here. Like this room is emptying actually into this one, which then empties into this one. And there's also stuff coming in both doors there. Wait, can I? No, I can't back out of it. Can I forward out of it? No. Oh wait, no, we're going over. It has sank enough to free. And I can speed away, leaving the sinking ship hanging completely. But if you want to return, you just... Whee! What if I crash into it at full speed? That doesn't even damage. I'm wondering if that lifeboat is having any effect on the sinking. If you think about it, right? It is a big float. It is something that floats, and it's stuck, meaning it's gonna try and keep it up, but it's only on one side. Meaning one side has some upward force, which means you have a force at a distance from the center point. Because if you have a stick, you hold it you put it on your finger in the middle, and you push up on one side, it starts to rotate. I know, science. That's the science we learn at school. That's what engineers learn. How that works. And they have torque. You have force over distance. It's upside down now. Haha. Trying to run myself on top of here. Then open it up. Climb out. Close it in case it flips. Do vent doors. It is having an effect, actually. Do vent doors while I open up these two. My voice might be going during the stream. As you can probably already hear, it is on its way out. That is because yesterday I had a bunch of fun with the company I work for. Like, I've been there for 3 weeks and I've already had like yesterday a meeting externally in a very fancy hotel. Like, it was one of those hotels that has some business rooms for, because, you know, it's important apparently. And yeah, now we have we spent half a day there, then we had lunch there, actually. Because if you're already there, why not have lunch? And then that evening we had another like outing where we did some sim racing and laser tag, but I don't really do any activities that move, that get up and moving, so I was out of breath for like 90% of the 12 minutes. So the first couple of minutes were fine, but the other 10 minutes were just torture. Like, every time I had a chance to catch my breath, I was like, holy shit, I'm out of breath. I need to calm down. I need to slow down, just walk slowly. Instead of, you know, speeding up. I feel like I've been in this situation before. I know how to solve it. I'm gonna get out of the seat. Go into the lower front. And open up the hatch. And then realize I don't have a vent system in here. Which means that this is pretty useless because of the water pressure. Or is there still water flowing in? There's still water flowing in from underneath here. What would happen if I were to open up this hatch? Nothing, because everything is flooding. Although this throwing out... Whoa, that was some pressure, alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. Open up the door. This part is completely done. Well, is it? It's not done at all. Yeah, there's nothing. There's like, there's some seawater coming in. Like, it is very slowly trickling into this room. This room, not even a single drop yet. Yeah, it's slowly sinking more and more, right? Although, what if I were to go down and forward? Like, go a deck lower and then start introducing water into here. Oh wow, what a lot of water coming in here. Wow. I have a solution. Or an idea. Wait. See, there we go. Now we're going. If I actually take a look into this room, it is still very slow in its filling. Even though this room is just flooding with water. Yeah, it is just not flowing quick enough into this room. Which then means that this one is slowly getting more. In the meantime, this one is going now. This one got heavy damage. Got some damage in the bottom. Come on, come on, get out of there! It is time to leave this boat. It is now at the bottom. Oh, there's my lifeboat. So let's first fill the glass that I have at my disposal with liquid so I can drink and have my voice last slightly longer. Because that is necessary and I do want to keep my voice. Wee. Yeah. Also, I got to do 120 kilometers per hour yesterday as well in my car, in the blue Twingo. Because, well, here in the Netherlands we have some questionable ruling about car stuff and highway speeds. It basically is the rule that between like 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. is actually just like 100, but after 7 p.m. and before 6 a.m. you are allowed to do 130 or 120 kilometers per hour. So I went 120. And well, let me tell you, it is, the steering gets light. At that speed, apparently the car's generating lift. Which means that there is less air pressure at the bottom. No, less downforce. there's less air pressure at the top than at the bottom. So if there's a low pressure area, then it tries to fill that back in with pressure. So you get air moving from the high pressure area to the low pressure. Because, you know, that's just how that works. If you have like a balloon that isn't fully filled with air and you push in one side, everything moves to the other. Because you're creating a high pressure area and it goes to the lower pressure one. Also, this is where it gets funky. Like here it's still semi-stable, I guess, at 5 RPS. Here it's already starting to go a little bit wonky at higher RPS. We're doing it. We're moving very slowly but very efficiently. Imagine seeing this just like coming at you in one go. Like this thing doesn't turn at all. It just doesn't. But that's not the goal of this ship. It should be able to maintain 10, right? Where's my piece of paper that says what everything does? Here. Let me take a sip of drink. A little sip. Then we have how much? We're getting so fast, and the derivative is the change over time. So if it can't reach, like over time, it starts to mess with that. So I could potentially, if I can find the engine controller, we have some PID. So if we remove a 0 from here, does that change it? Does it make it better or worse? That very quickly stabilized. Alright, let's push it up to 8. So it's still overcompensating. I'm asking for 8 and it's just bouncing below the 7. If I do it up to 9.6. Yeah, that's where I start to see the minus now. So yeah, that's a problem. Although I do have a feeling it was actually better. Because it remained perfectly stable at like 5 RPS. And if it takes a little while to get the revs up, then it takes a little while to get the revs up. It doesn't have to instantly respond. It's a big boat. Boats don't respond well to input. They're like, are you sure about this? Are you really, really sure about this? Like it dials it down and boom. Oh wait, I do have to turn them on. So if you put in 9. should eventually stabilize a little bit. Eventually, right? As soon as you apply power, it starts to change. It's changing. Now it's up and down and up and down and up and down. Only thing I can really think of is turn this to like a 4. Like if I make that go way slower. That's all part of the modernization program, I guess. I'm asking for 5 and it remains slightly below. What if I ask for 8? Then I ask for 11. So that stabilizes again at 8. It will eventually stabilize, it just takes a while. It stabilizes at 9 RPS, and if I apply throttle, it does mess a little bit with... I think speed is 9 knots. Bridge lights, interior lights, navigation lights, exterior light. What if I make it a slight bit slower, actually? What if I do 0.3? Because this seems to be the main part that's working. Yes, it will rev slow, but otherwise it's revving way too quickly. And I'd rather have it go at a slower pace and actually not jitter every time it's... You see, it's not available. I mean, now it is. If we go to 8, it should remain stable. Yeah, if I now go up to 9.99, it remains stable. Now if I go to 11, it's stable. 11. This piece of paper really annoying me. They're on the cable of my mouse and it keeps moving. Alright, then we go to 12. Still stable. 13.9. It should be stabilizing eventually. Right here it's a little bit happy. If we go up a little bit, then it starts going, and then it starts going more. Then it starts going even more. You're at 15. It will start to jerk a little bit. This just has been frustrating me for a while. Alright, now to add another feature, because we have dials here. We don't want those. And why do we not want those? Because they have monitors for that. Can I shove a monitor like this in here for the speed? Or do I want to use a 2x2 for that? I think I use a 1x1 for it. Wait, isn't there a function for the where is my linear sensor? Where is it? Is it in here? No, it is not. Is it somewhere here? No. Let me actually reverse some things to see where it actually is. There. This function input right here goes all the way back up there. This is where the linear speed sensor is located. There. It's right there. So let's create a microcontroller that is specifically for this, where we have two input. We have one input, one output. Because that's how logic works. Speed monitor, yes. Monitor. Logic, we have a number in and a video out. Doesn't work. We do need Lua script for this. That connects to there, but now we don't have a input. Now we have an input. Ta-da! All the logic you need to put one input on a monitor. Just a composite write, so you can so it will output a composite signal, which reads all the inputs in here and gives them and sends them in their assigned channel. A composite is basically sending one big data wire instead of having a lot of small wires in between. I guess for creations like this, it could come in handy as well to convert multiple things into one thing, so I can keep that semi-close somewhere, and then have just the composite signal go to the logic room, so it doesn't become this spaghetti. But yeah, now we have the Lua script, and this of course is just to draw a circle. All I have to do is remove this one. Because all this is get number 1. Then we have to draw color to green. And, or do we want to use pink for everything? I feel like I want to use pink for everything. Speed monitor. Where are the things? The thing, are they here? That's a gearbox. That's just 4 buttons. Here is one of them. Yeah, see, this is already what happens when we try to add 5 cylinders to one data input and output all of this. Yeah. And this is a little bit weird. If you're looking at it and you don't understand it, understandable. I don't understand it either. This was last week's messing around. And what do I have? A scrap piece of paper and a pencil? There's my pencil. Let's actually bring my pencil case to work, because even though they have stuff there, I still have a lot of office supplies and I just want to get rid of them. But I don't want to just throw them away because that's wasteful. And I'm not wasteful. So, or at least I try not to be. So, yeah. Let me... I also started today, like I decided I want to start writing in cursive again. Because, first of all, it's funny. Second of all, it's actually, because with digital stuff and just keyboards and everything, it's a lot easier now. But imagine being the one, or one of the few that still writes in cursive and just confuses everyone. Like, why are you writing that way? How can you read it? It's funny. But we have we have RGB and we have 2, 4, 8, 39, and 200. Those are the values that I need to use for all other RGB related things. For text at least. How am I gonna do this? Still struggling a little bit with the X. Just have to, because as a child I did learn it, but I still have to relearn it, sort of, because I've basically dropped it since I was like 12. Because as a child I was like done with it, and I just wanted to write in like loose letters instead of just cursive when everything's continuous. So trying to get back into the cursive is a bit weird, but it's fun. This is why we've saved the speed monitor and all its logic in there. Hold on. Isn't there... I'm gonna be lazy here. With coding, it's just be lazy, it will get done anyway. But which does mean that I can just pretty much copy this. No, actually, because I want my speed with... I want my speed as knots. So you can see your speed in knots, like the actual speed that or unit they use to measure maritime applications. Kilometers per hour for the people that don't know how fast 20 knots actually is. And miles per hour for the Americans or British that are too lazy or don't know how fast 50 kilometers per hour is. It's easy. I think you divide it by 1.6. Let me actually grab my calculator on my phone for that. So 50 divided by 1. I think it's on 1.61 or something. But it's roughly 30 kilometers per hour. No, 50 kilometers per hour is roughly 30 miles per hour. But it basically means I have to grab all of this. Like I want 1 value, 2 value, 3 value. Control C. Okay. Then we go out and hopefully this holds. And just Control V. There we go. And then we have, let's call this meters per second, meters divided by second. This is gonna throw an error, yes. MPS. Then we're gonna press enter here. Then we want knots equals input equals MPS. And I'm gonna look this up. Meters per second to knots. That is the number I need to copy, and I also get to what? What? Why? I just want 1. Multiply the speed value. I wanted to multiply, so I want to do multiplication. Control V. So that's the number used to convert to knots. But then we also have kilometers per or kph, which equals MPS divided by 3.6. Long live the metric system. Instead of having a complicated number, 3.6 is the answer. Because, you know, it's meters per second. You go to kilometers per hour. So you divide it by 3.6. So you get hours. Because basically you do it times 60 times. Or you divide it by 60 and divide it by 60, but then you have to do it times 1,000. So you have 3,600. You divide it by 1,000, you get 3.6. It's simple math. You don't have to think like complicated. It's just like, alright, you do it an hour has 60 times 60, which is 36. We have 2 zeros, so you have 3,600 seconds, but you're also dividing it from meters to kilometers, which, because of metric system, there are 1,000 meters per kilometer. So you divide that by 1,000 and you end up with this. But we also, because we want to be accommodating a little bit, we want to go for MPH. And that I have to look up. Mile per hour. Control Z. You do miles per is the gloss in a way. Let me just empty it. And mark it on the thing. So you have MPS and you multiply the speed value by V. Or Control V, which... Alright, then we have... knots... Okay, kilometers per hour. No, kilometers and Newton or meter Newton. Huh. Miles. Kilometers. Miles per hour. mph. Miles. Like mph, I guess. Then it draws. What if I put like 2 here? So it puts 2 numbers behind the decimal point. Then 2 in front. It's just a matter, is this correct here? Let's actually bring that back to 30 first. So you can actually see where the text box is at. Then we save it, grab it. Actually, it's perfect where it is located, pretty much. Oh yeah, I still have to grab the monitor, actually. The 1 by 1, which is going to replace a singular thing. Yeah, this is where the issues start to arise. You have a power signal that you have to deal with. Yes, I'm first gonna go to the toilet because fluid is moving through me and is deciding now is the time to potentially leave. So I'm gonna press the be right back button, which in this case, because for some reason my stream deck isn't working, I might have to sync it to OBS again. But I'm just gonna press the be right back screen and do it that way. So I'll be right back. back from taking care of my body. Alright, hopefully my throat remains in functionality after today. Hopefully. Those are 2 monitors. Wait, why is channel 2 is not connected to anything? Oh, hold on. This one is connected to the backlight. Yeah, that makes sense. But I can actually use this, like, 2, which is nothing, which is going to become a flip switch, to complete the thing. Where it is... Damn it. It is going to indicate the display. Channel 2. And it is going to be the buttons that turn... There's going to be a button that turns on all the displays in this area. Otherwise, you're not getting any input. And yes, I will do the power at some point. I'll just delete the battery, replace the battery manually, otherwise it's gonna mess around. And from there on, it will be... I will rewire everything through breakers. The breakers that are right above here. Yeah, see, this one doesn't do anything anymore. I can do this. Something seems off. And it's the monitors because they're not turned on. Even though I pressed the thing, right? Or is 2 not connected to check shit? Yes, it is. Why is it not working? Is something else using 2 already? No. Flip switch to channel 2. Wait a second. Wait a minute. This channel 2 was also not... I connected the wrong thing. There, that is the right one. You know, it is kind of smart to make sure that once you press something, it actually goes there. Because right now, if I... Eh? Yep, that's something that's not correct. Yeah, the bridge lights only turn the backlights of this on. Wow. And that. Which, of course, can be a monitor. Like that. I'm just surprised at how well this boat handles big waves. Alright, let's actually try to get to Some bigger waves than this. But I guess if I want to turn smoothly, I just do this. Like, I just go slower. The slower I go, the more my props are in the water, the more I can turn. But it gets rather annoying if half of my props are out of the water, preventing said turn from being made. Which is, while turning this massive behemoth, this is getting it's difficult to make a turn. Like, I'm starting to get there a little bit. I mean, it's definitely working somewhat, but it's not working as well as I want it to. I really don't like it when that happens. Keeps trying. You know what? I'm just gonna turn the wind down a little bit so I can actually get over the waves, you know? And have a little bit of normal turning into the waves. And now we can push it up. Actually, let's spot a tsunami as well. Don't go into the same boat we were in before. By that I mean, don't do this. Don't go and do the exact same thing I did before. Like, actually try and go like this. There's another wall of water that's on its way. I actually want to be the other way around. I actually want to go out of the waves, so like against it instead of going with it. Also, I don't know where the tsunami will be coming from. All I know is I'm gonna be struggling to make this turn here. Or not, actually. Right now we're against the waves. And there's a tsunami. I knew it would be somewhere. You're going fast through these waves with its pretty light weight is not it. Like one of these big waves and your props are out of the water. Not actually so far, but I say that as they lift out of the water. Could potentially lower them a couple blocks, which would be nice. And let's see how well this handles a solid tsunami with 12 RPS of throttle. That's a wall of water. Alright, alright, alright. We're almost under. We're almost under. And we get thrown out. That's an oil spill. It's a massive oil spill. Then we smack down. Don't roll over. And we cancel it. Am I at 100 again? Yes, I am. You know, it's actually not too bad if you have a lot of waves shortly after each other. So you have one big one. That's where the trouble is. Because you're going over. Then you get pushed forward again. Then you keep doing the exact same thing. You know, with these big waves, why don't I open up a couple doors, you know? Or how about I blow part of the ship up? You know, just gently put the front of it down. And then we open those two. And now we are gonna be sinking nicely. This area is damaged, which means it starts to flood. This starts to flood, which will put the front down. They'll let the doors open so it floods through the doors. Like that's the game plan here. Like the front dips below the water, or the damaged part goes through the water, which means water gets pushed into these rooms. The damage isn't all the way at the bottom here, which means it stays in, which means we lower ourselves at the front. If the water actually reaches it, because that's another big thing. It isn't really reaching it. Let me have a look down there to see what's going on. See if any water is making it in. Yeah, see, it's there's some in here, but not enough. Now there's water in here as well. How much is in here? 3 liters. Let me just Might as well do this, right? There's some water coming in, but I don't think that there's a lot. Yeah, there is over 1,000 liters in here. But then it's also draining. So why not just open this hatch? Is this the front? Yes, because those doors are closed. These aren't. And this has some water in here that's now gonna move into this compartment, which moves into this compartment. Hopefully, at some point. Right, it has been set in motion. Now it's just a matter of waiting. And bobbing up and down in the water. Or, you know, moving forward. To get into bigger waves, because the bigger the waves, the better. More water gets into the front here, which goes into the front there, which goes here, or goes here. Into this compartment, which goes into this compartment. Yeah, I really did damage my front for all of this. It's not in the water that often. It just needs to dip into it a little bit more. Have a big wave hit it. Like that. That really gets it. That is what gets it. I guess I could make a visual for the flooding as well. These doors are still open right here. These doors are open as well. These doors are closed. So the wave itself crashed over there, and then that happens. The part right about dips that heavily, I do one more often. Like just... This wave will definitely cause that. We go up. And we crash back down. To be fair, it was a little bit of a weak one. Because of the second wave going behind it. Now let's check on the extent of the flooding. This compartment now has more water. This compartment now has more water. Which leads to this compartment gaining a slight, like little teeny tiny bits. Then once we go below the lowest part of the ship, we open up this door and there is some water in here. There's also some water in here, but I think most of that leaks out into this one. Which now is the opportunity to leak into this one. Or I just bomb the rest of the... Like, I damaged the front right here already. Why don't I just do a sequel? But slightly lower, so it damages more below. Which might actually do damage under the waterline. But still not touch the batteries. Meaning we can have continuous flooding. Yay! Or more flooding, actually. 210. Alright, then we're gonna shut this one. It's gonna actually start... Come on. How difficult was it to grab the ladder there? No. How difficult is it to walk the stairs? Shouldn't be. Right now we have yeah, see, now we have bow damage below the red part, and the red part is the part that's most commonly underwater. It also means that there is going to be more flooding happening, which is going to push us lower and lower and lower into the water. And eventually, like, this compartment has shut its doors, which I don't think it has previously done, so there is water in here now. The lower we go, the lower our front goes, the more chance there's that water starts flowing in from there, and that's my goal. For that I need big waves, and big waves I'm getting. And also I participated in research today. I basically asked if I could help with seeing if a sensor, like one of those movement sensors or people counting sensors for lighting systems, could detect somebody at like 10 meters or long or further away. So it basically was to just walk, and I did, and found out yes, it could detect me quite easily. Can we start actually properly flooding, please? Like some proper water into the boat level stuff instead of just gently trickling. Like I'm going all the way into the ocean for this, where the waves are bigger. Did I hear more doors closing? I'm gonna have to put one even lower. Liters in here. There's a total of 1700 in there. Let me just gently place one there. Bang. That should hopefully not haven't damaged any batteries, because damaging the batteries is dangerous. But damaging just the front is less dangerous. Oh yeah, we haven't damaged the battery at all, and we are properly flooding now. I see water. Yeah, every time it rolls over, it gets fresh access to water. Right, mission success. We have more and more water getting into the ship. And now we have a lot more water. A lot more damage to the bow. Like, only when my friend is entirely out of it is when no water comes in. And after that, the bow comes crashing down, allowing the flooding of multiple rooms. Which means that the front is gonna get lower and lower and lower. Which means there's a higher chance that a big wave could come over the top and start flooding from there, and then start flooding the rest of the ship and then sink. Well, in order to save fuel, we're gonna go to lower RPS. Oh, that went deep. I feel like it might be a placebo effect, but I feel like my bow is already dipping lower than it used to. Of course, you have the little bit of, water going into the next room bit. Oh, that one went really low. Like, it is almost on top of my bow. Like, we're at the brink of it flowing in through the front of the front two doors. All we need to do is add more water into the compartments. Which is why I want the water to go so far back. Yes, it will be less effective, but it will be stored there, basically, and that's what I want. Let's actually take a look at the news, because there might be news. That's just pretty obvious. Apparently Finland is in front with drone fighting for conflict purposes. And they're saying that the key is constant innovation. Isn't that how war has always been? Just what party can discover new technologies that work better, faster? That is the entirety of war. Just how much research can you do to fight someone? Israel is still doing dumb shit, basically. Like, the entire story is, or at least as far as I know, if Israel and Hamas both, well, Hamas being in an area, Israel wanting to be in that area, and then basically saying, alright, we are going to invade. We want that area. We're gonna do a war. Oh, now the water's flowing over. But that took a bit, because war isn't over in 3 days. You know, that's something they would probably figured out after Ukraine. But what then happened is a humanitarian crisis with Israel blocking humanitarian aid from all around the world because it would help their enemy. Like, it would also, we're not giving the people food because it would give Hamas food as well. And during the president's speech in like the UN, multiple people walked out. They were like, nope, not dealing with this bullshit. Can some water come rocking over the bow and actually enter the doors, please? I'm trying to sink here. Can't see a level of water yet. But I feel like if I'm just gonna stand still here, I'm gonna be able to see water flooding in. Well, my goal was that water would go over the bow of the ship, like that wave, go in here. That's another big boy, but annoyingly, even though, oh, it went over a little bit, like that it rushes over here, falls in here, then falls in here. This area is closed because there's a little teeny tiny bit of water in there. I mean, this room is open, so there's... like, this room has water in it. Oh, because in here there's, like, a bunch of water as well. I still don't understand why the water is gently flowing away. What? Yeah, hi Miyaki. Was it the message about how late tomorrow? Well, first of all, funny numbers. Second of all, yeah. I guess. I mean, I was planning on basically saying that I want to be at your place around 10, because we do have an air mattress. We just have to grab it because we were a little bit of a time crunch this afternoon. I can potentially try. which basically means just wake up at 8 instead of 9. I just wake up an hour earlier, have some breakfast, because breakfast, then I will try and wake up at 8. Actually, what I could do first, which I need to do anyway, where is my clock? Calculator, chess, no clock. Let me set an alarm for 8 in the morning. 8, okay. Yeah, and then we also set an alarm for 17, 18, 19, 48, which I as an alarm have set. Like I want Wednesday and Friday as a repeater. There we go. Because that was my streaming alarm that I had on my old phone, where I had 10 minutes. It was basically like you have 10 minutes to get to your PC, turn it on, get everything ready, and then start going live. Instead of, ooh, big waves are big. Boat. I must ram it. But yeah, I will then wake up at 8, be there, try and be there at 9. Are we gonna... Yeah, then I'm gonna be there at 9, because I assume we're taking your car, considering it has significantly more space. Because, yeah. Oh, your dad's car, even. Nice. And also, if we have cleaned the inside of the Twingo, it might actually also be nice to clean the outside, which means driving it to one of those boxes where you can actually get to wash it. Put like €5 in it for 10 minutes of actual cleaning. I'm trying to get to that boat to ram it, and I guess the only way I'm doing that is if I go full tilt. Full tilt flying boat. I also need to install... Well, my rear windshield wiper arrived today in a big box. Like the box was over... They used bol.com packaging, which, for those who aren't Dutch, is basically big ass package. A lot of extra material to, like, padding. The smallest thing you'll ever see inside. That's what I mean by that. Yes. Like install a fire extinguisher. Oh no, I'm gonna overshoot. I don't want to overshoot this. Come on. Turn it around. I know we're sinking. Boat, now turn, you big, long piece of shit. Like, why are we even sideways into these waves? What is this guy doing? Alright, I guess I'll see you soon, and if I don't see you right now, I guess I'll see you tomorrow. I don't think I have a reverse setup yet. Oh my, I do. Thanks, Pause Me, for setting up the reverse in this boat. Now my only question is... can I turn around in time? If I lower my RPS to be slower... You know what? I'm just gonna turn the waves off for now. And now you can actually see the extent of the damage. Hehehe. You better speed away. Which, good luck doing with this thing's top speed. I'm commencing a pit maneuver on a boat. Wait, I can do it even better with this now. Introduce big waves. No, no. I'll have to turn around. I should actually try and T-bone it. Oh, it's a listing, isn't it? Is it sinking? I hope so. It's listing and slow. To me, that indicates a sinking vessel. So let's bully it some more then, shall we? I'm not making that turn. Turn you make a long. Like why is the turning radius so long? That doesn't actually seem to be sinking. But I am going to I'm not gonna hit it again right now. But it's still very funny just to figure out that I can do 120 in this car. Then I try it. Oh shit, my steering is getting light. Which basically means when I can turn my wheel easier when at that speed. Now, do you know that Renault did have some like adaptive power steering where it would change based on your speed, which is an interesting concept, which is a good concept, I think, because it gives you more control. But it's also slightly concerning if you don't know about it. Like but it actually feel like it went a little bit light and a little bit, and it was less responsive at the higher speed. I'm going for the T-bone. There we go. What if I... Right, and now we rush backwards. Need to open up 2 doors. Yeah, they're already going. Again. Means I need to apply power as well. And then we run. This time we don't have to open up multiple doors. I can just drop down. Oh wait, why am I even... Oh boy. Oh boy, let me climb up. No. I want to be on my own sinking boat. You're gonna be on your own sinking boat now. Hehe. Long live C4. Oh yeah, now we're going. Doesn't really... Hold on, what does the inside of this look like? Yeah, I did damage its big side. Fine, we'll use more, I guess. If that's what we must do, then we must do it, I guess. You know, the, Is it backing up? I guess it realized I was in the way. You know, that deserves a second one. And just because I want you to stop moving, I'm gonna blow your back up as well. It still has movement. Why do you still have movement? Why is my rope only 1 meter long now? Do you have a way to store it in here? Didn't have some empty storage or something? Nope, doesn't seem like it. Yeah, for that stuff. Oh, what? Why did I get pushed back? Nope. There we go. Oh, I just missed that, I guess. Oh, cool. Fake lifeboats that are just there for decoration. Who doesn't have decorative rescue equipment? You know, here to rescue. Aw, I despawned. Here to rescue you. If you actually thought it was. Don't know why it started having a list, but it started having a list. That's all flooding the engine room. I open up this one. Then I open up, because I think if I open up this one, there should be water in here. Yes. Does that mean water will come in here? No. Why? Because of the fact that the water's over there. I mean, this compartment is pretty flooded. And this compartment is starting to flood really well. Which will eventually leak into this, which will fill up, then will leak into this one. This one is already filling up heavily. When we open up these as well, it doesn't fit through a normal doorway anymore. Like, that's how angled I am. You open up these, we have hopefully some water going into this room. Oh yeah, slowly. Because this room is also filling or emptying. And then this room should also be somewhat emptying and filling itself as well. It is filling. Yeah. Just as suspected. You don't fit through the stairway anymore. No, don't fall into the water like that. Try and walk up the stairs, please. Thank you. Now we have water coming in from there. If I open up these two, we also have water flowing in there now. Then we're gonna travel up. We're gonna shut the door. Realize that I can't really crawl anywhere. And then realize I still have propulsion. Somehow we're going upright. Equal flooding. Now we're listing the other way. But because we're oriented, it actually works quite well. Because it's filling from 3 doors. Or at least it's letting air out through 3 doors. And then up here as well. So that's definitely a vent there. This back compartment is going, which means this back compartment is going. This bottom is filling up semi-rapidly. I mean, it's also leaking into the front here, which then leaks into the front. Oh, that is shut. Oh well. Ooh, I can look at the fishies. Or realize that I have big problems. Rush out. Lower this one because it's higher up. Other button. Now we go to the other one because that one is now going. Ah. Oh wait, this one went. Alright, then we jump next to it, I mean. Totally didn't want to say jump on. Fine, we'll disconnect you first. Then throw you in there, climb the ladder again, fly off, because that's how that works. Drop. Oh boy. That's, close it off. Close it off immediately. And then once again, we're safe. We are perfectly safe while the ship is actively going down because I blew the front up and left doors open. Also, I'm quite tired because I've had a day. An entire day of work. Which, if you have a job, you do a lot. But yeah. Right, so on 2 it reads a nil value. It's up here, of course. Like first, like it gets input 1, so it gets number 1. Then it will automatically each tick calculate the meters per second, and then it shows that. I go first to the code and draw clear. Then it will set the color to that, and then it will draw this. Oh, I know what's going on. This one needs to be KPH MPH. Like it was trying to refer to the values that is. Can my camera do stuff properly again? It tried to do stuff when it. I basically said it's all references anyway. Like it's pretty much just a reference to it, to this, a reference to that. Yeah, bad argument number 2 to format number expected got nil. So what I'm understanding of this, it reads 0. For some reason the code just throws out a 0 somewhere. Like it's supposed to do this and then end. Like each logic tick, it will do this, done. Might as well call this KPH. Like that's the annoying thing about this, right? You basically, it says no errors detected, but as soon as you connect it to something, it will give you an error. And I do get why a little bit now that I think about it, because what it is, because they don't know your setup. But I guess if you connect it to some stuff, it should be able to read that, right? Like, it just renders the logic nodes connected to it and what it does. And then you can input those input numbers for that yourself as in a testing environment. Let me unlock my phone again. And Let me text mom good night because yeah. There we go. Yeah, I'm sure you can make a testing environment where it reads the inputs and outputs that it has, that it's connected to. So you first have to connect everything up. Then you can run tests. Like, it would be a lot easier to if you had the function in here. Because right now it says no errors detected. Green. So good. As soon as you turn this on, it's draw error. Draw error 16 at 16. Hmm. So something's going wrong at 16. That makes it output nil. So what it first does is draws a screen text box at 1, 0 width of the monitor 6 knots. Then it writes knots since -1 and 0 for orientation. Then it's screen draw text 30 0, so it's moved a little bit. And string format percentage 2.2f, which is 2, or do I have to use 02 for this as well? Because that's the annoying thing about code. It will get, it will be like, just, oh, you put a space bar there, or you didn't put a 0 in front of it. If Excel can figure it out, so can your monitor. It expects a number, but it doesn't get that number. So the number doesn't arrive there yet. Seriously. Seriously? Was it that it tried to get a number, but it was a capital K, so it didn't recognize it, and yeah. If I have input right now, I'm gonna be... Yeah, the 6 might be too wide. I also do space for meters per second still. Let's see here. Shall we? Let's you grab the help so I can get to the draw text box thing. width and height. Yeah, so I basically have to get a bigger monitor in here, but I can, of course, say Control Z, Control C, Control V. Don't call it NOS, calls it MPS with a capital M, which I'm gonna remove here from that, which means this has to move from that, which means this has also, and this also gets an M, and this is called meters per second. I didn't mean to spawn it in yet. Because I have to grab a 2x1 monitor instead. And give it a video. Input. There we go. Oh. Wait a minute, I might be able to actually use half the monitor if I'm smart about this. Well, first of all, things are going wrong here. With me, this needing to be 6, this needing to be 8, this needing to be... No, this needs to be 12. This needs to be 18. 18, 12, 6. That solves that problem. Let's see. Let's... Yeah, KTS is used for that as well as an abbreviation. So that's good because that means if I do this, it will keep it with that. Which means that if I do 20, I might be able to actually fit it on a single monitor instead of a 2x1. Which would be nice because that means more compact. Bonk. Yes, if I delete a decimal point, I might actually be able to use a 1x1. Alright, 1x1 monitor, we're gonna put you back in, connect the video output, give it electricity from the one big battery, and the on-off goes from this button. Wait, I didn't get to do the logic bit. No, I need to do the logic still, because 2 decimal points are totally unnecessary, especially if you see how much it moves. Can I just use 1? I guess I just use 1 because I found my mistake. There we go. It barely does. Wait, I still have that 1 pixel I can abuse there. Move it 1 pixel over. I think I can actually fit this here. It will barely fit, but it will fit. I'm gonna have to turn all these into zeros. Turn all this into like 19. Which, if I'm smart about this, I will just... Hold the control. There we go. Now it's just aligning things, and if things are aligned, then I'm gonna say go ahead. Actually, I might actually put a height offset in there. Because if I put a height offset in, then I can have it better. I can do it better. I can improve on designs. Because as you can see, I'm basically missing a singular pixel. Yeah, I'm missing a couple pixels. It's not fully at that edge. And I can get closer. I think if I add my 1 right here and my 1 right, or make this 7, 13, 19. You know, just keep adding a singular thing to it. Maybe if I turn my num lock on, things actually start to work. Alright. Almost there. It's perfect. Everything's on there. Nice. It can be moved down maybe a little bit. Like another 3 pixels. Something isn't... Oh no, it's the times, yeah. The kilometers per hour are a bit scuffed still. I'm actually doing like 30. The knots... Oh, I know, yeah, just some logic isn't... My math isn't mathing. Why are these two the same? Also need to do this times, that fixes that problem. This one grabs that, then grabs this value here. Input get number 1. Move in. Go up. Open. And... on. Yeah, once it goes into the double digits, you lose everything behind the decimal point, but we're basically 40 kilometers per hour, 24 miles an hour, and apparently both 11 meters per second and knots, but that is not correct. We have to be doing like over 20 knots at full tilt. Something's not right. But what? Because it is accurately calculating. is actively calculating things correctly. Right, we have knots, or I guess KTS. I guess 5 turns into 3. 3 plus 6 is 9. 9 plus 6 is 15. 22? Yeah. No, 21. Still do not understand why it... Oh. Stupid decimal points. Or commas or stuff. Like, it only did times 1. Well, congratulations, you got the same number. Because let's say I have 10 times 1. Well, I have 10 one time. How much do I have 10? Now it should indicate different values. So when I move forward, it shows us at a brisk 21 knots. All on one monitor. Perfect. Alright, that's the monitor for speed. Come on. That's the monitor for speed done. Let's actually paint the lifeboats a proper lifeboat color. There we go. A little bit more paint, you know, just to make sure you can see the lifeboats, because orange is a bright color. You will see it. Well, apart from this area, because that is apparently not really painted. Now it is. There we go. More painting. Get all the prop and everything done. Wee. Right, this should be more recognizable already. Or just go completely orange. Like, oh, the boat has sunk and you're now looking for survivors? Well, where's the big orange? Like, where is orange thing? Next to, or like around here at sunk. That is where you're going to end up. Like, just, if you find the big orange, boom, you found people. Bring them to safety. There we go. More color into this. Now, what will I add next? Like, what would be a good thing to add to this? on a monitor. So I can actually, have a window. Hmm. Hmm. Huh. Why is Twitch advertising my own VODs to me? I have like a notification. Look for something to watch. Bush Person's latest VOD is ready for you. Which I guess thank you for notifying me. I mean, I guess I'm not sure why they would notify me about that, but the thing is, how am I gonna do this? I have 3 val. I guess I could try using a touchscreen. I mean, all I need is 3 things plus. I guess I could turn this into a 2x1. If you're 3 inputs. Wait, I need a piece of. I'm gonna use. I guess this one I need to keep. This one is. Yeah, this one can be thrown away afterwards. But if I need to draw, because I need to be able to. I'm not sure what you'll be able to see. That's a pretty good square that I made. Just 4 lines. I want. No, not kilometers per hour. I need RPS. Where's a eraser? I should have an eraser. Oh, wait, I have my pencil case right there, but don't have a. Where did I put that? I know I put it somewhere. I have a big fuck off eraser. But I seem to put it somewhere. And now I can't find it. There's a sharpener with an eraser in it. As I said, I've like a bajillion erasers as well. So multiple pencil sharpeners. Why won't this open? There we go. Like, I think I can actually get, like, take drawing up as a hobby and just have resources already. I want RPS. I want temp. And I want battery level, which I guess I'll do in percentages. Which is... batteries, so then you have like the numbers. RPS can be like 20, temp will be 40, and battery will be 100%. And then underneath you basically have a button that says start, you have another button that says... Oh yeah, I also need throttle as a value. That's gonna make things difficult, maybe, possibly, perhaps. Yeah, it's gonna make it difficult. Difficult to, well, never mind, you have your RPS, so I can just basically say... The thing is, I'm writing down as well, and I want to learn to rewrite in cursive. So what I'm doing is basically writing in cursive, but it takes a little bit more time because it's, you know, I'm out of practice. So you have like... RPS up, and then you have RPS down. So you have RPS up, RPS down. I guess what I could do is RPS plus and RPS minus. I feel like that would be a way better thing for a monitor than up and down. So basically you have a layout like this. If you can see it at a reasonable thing. Just here you can see it. But yeah, basically you have your 3 inputs on top, and then on the bottom it says start RPS plus RPS minus. That will replace this. Like this bulky 3-block thing will be replaced by simple stuff. But that does mean that I'm gonna need a engine control monitor. Logic. We have 3 inputs, I guess, to show. So 1 number input, 2 number input, 3 number input. 1 is going to be RPS. This is going to be temp, and this is going to be the battery. Then I need to change the width a little bit. So we're going to put these all in a row, neatly like that. Then we have, because we need out as a number in RPS. So we need, first we need out as a number as in starter. Then we need out as a number out, throttle, and I also, like, those are the 2 buttons. And then we have a video output to deal with as well. We need a video out. So we need video out. This will be, we need output and input, of course. Or does it only have one? I think it only has one of them. So we have this. I think the starter, the throttle, the battery. No, of course, those come out of the thing. So we need Lua again. Lua script to connect to the monitor. Wait a second, hold on, let me check actually. Does video... It only could... Yeah, it gets a signal, camera feed, output. How does touchscreen work then? Help. Composite outputs from monitors contains data that can be interpreted in your script to create touchscreens. The layout of the composite data is as follows. Number of channels. 1 monitor resolution X, monitor resolution I. And 2, 3 is input, 3 and 4 input X and I. X and Y. I guess depending on how you want to say it. And 5 and 6 are input 2. On off channels, 1 is input 1 pressed, 2 is input 2 pressed. For example, on tick, input X. Read touchscreen data from the print's script composite input. Check if there's pressing the rectangle at 1010 with an height of 20 pixels. If pressing N is pointing a rectangle. One is press rectangle, which that becomes true on off channel 1, and then end XY function return. So, from what I understand from this, which my tired head, I'm just gonna grab a drink. I have the bottle next to me anyway, so there's no harm in it, unless you count me having to pee as a downside. But then again, I'd rather do that than, you know, deal with the consequence of not going to the toilet.
Wait, do you not get a notification for that?
For what? For you joining?
No. I raided you. Wait. Oh, it just didn't do what? Why did it? I clicked the thing.
You have to action.
Okay.
Obsidian Blade 266. Thanks for the raid with one viewer.
Yeah.
I do appreciate every viewer though.
I was like, where do you do that again?
Yeah, you have to actually press multiple buttons, and it makes it really difficult to end. It sort of is just, let me dump my chat with this streamer.
Yeah, I know. Also, my moderator tab for my own Twitch is freaking out for some reason.
Weird. I'm figuring out how to do touchscreens. And by this, it's already looking like a painful thing. My phone is charged. Yay! Also, Jim, yesterday was fun. Because
Okay.
we had an external meeting due to it not being able. Well, we were kicked out of the meeting room because the CEO of the parent company came along. Like, the CEO is coming, so the people that actually do the work get kicked out of the meeting room. So I guess we had to go to a fancy ass hotel to do the meeting. It was really fancy.
I see.
They had a monitor for the meeting rooms. So if you were to arrive there, you could just look at the monitor, see company name, room 3, and you would, with directions up basically, you'd be like, alright, let's go there. And then we did half a days of work because the meeting wasn't really that much. It was just go over the points, go over new software. Done. And yeah. Then the half days of work. Then then I left, stood in a traffic jam for a bit because traffic, like, it's an hour to half an hour before we left for like the activities. Basically, at the highway entrance that we would take, had an accident.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so there was still a little bit of traffic jam, and I was behind a Mercedes that kept 500 miles worth of distance in front.
Hmm.
A van just went in between because there was more than enough space for an entire van to just move in. Eventually, I overtook because I was getting sick of it. And then when I looked in my mirror, the Mercedes was really far behind me again. Like, that's not how you drive in a traffic jam. In a traffic jam, you're all packed up close together. So, you can fit as much traffic on a piece of road. You don't just keep that distance. If one or two cars could fit in. Because that means you made the traffic jam longer. It's going to obstruct more exits, more entrances. Because that's where it really slows down if you're in a traffic jam. Because you might be moving along and all of a sudden you have to brake because somebody decides to join your traffic jam. Which, if you were to see one and you're thinking, I'm gonna have to go that way, you should be thinking, is there an alternative route for me that I could take that doesn't involve this massive row of cars that I'm gonna have to merge into and then be stuck? But instead I could maybe drive a little bit more, but I can eventually save up on fuel because I can just continuously drive at a solid speed. Of course, taking the parallel roads or those, or any other other detour is of course going to be quite busy as well, because other people have the same idea. They're also seeing the traffic jam and thinking, no, I don't want that, and then do it the other way. Right, there are no errors detected. That's because this is a fully functional thing. Now, if we were to grab this bit, there we go. That means that this can be removed. Still no errors detected. But yeah. Also, Jim, my car parts have arrived. I ordered a fire extinguisher and a windshield wiper. The wiper came in so much packaging. You had a big box filled with just like paper, with a smaller box inside, which then had a wiper in it, the wiper blade. I almost thought it was a front windshield wiper, which I didn't order because I wanted to have the back one. Because the front one is still in a solid state. The rear one, on the other hand, is cooked. So let me just put this here. No, let's actually put that below then, shall we? And then remove a bunch of these so I can X, Control V, Control X, Control V. There we go. That means that this entire bit can be deleted and everything can be deleted underneath that. So the on draw, because what this is, it ends. Oh, this is a lose thing. All right. There's a loose thing that just needs to be it. It returns true if the point xy is inside the rectangle at rect x rect y with rect w height. Yeah. And then if that happens, then you do that. So if I were to make that, the composite output is where all the touchscreen stuff's gonna go. Yeah. I'm gonna have to do a read on off, I guess. Yes. I need 3 of these because we're gonna have 3 buttons. And one of them is gonna go there. The other ones are going to go to an up down. With up and down and value. We're gonna clamp it and at a maximum of 50 RPS. Because Jim, speed is key. And I want to be able to do speed. I want to go fast. And I'm still at the right company. Because I finally found somebody that also likes sim racing. Like, during the way at Race Crowd works is you have free practice to kind of...
I have 2 of those at my company.
Yeah, there were 2 at my company as well, but I'm sort of the 3rd one. Which they also potentially invited me to do karting, an endurance karting race. Which is basically just 3 stints of 20 minutes. Like 3 hours. But still. But, like, one of the 2 was away because children and had to take care, they couldn't get rid of the child for the evening, so they had to, they couldn't come with. But what they basically, like me and my colleague were 15 seconds in front, battling it out. Like, I've lapped someone multiple times each race. But that's just what happens when you go with a company. You get people that don't like it at all. And eventually during our 2nd race, we were 76 thousandths of a second apart from each other. So it's 0.067 seconds. It's nothing. But yeah, that was a lot of, and then laser tag, which I was out of breath
on
for.
Your stream.
What?
Get one of your colleagues to be on your live stream and sim race with them.
I'm not sure.
It'd be funny.
If that would be funny, it would also kind of be weird, maybe a little bit.
Would it?
And I could fully understand that they might not want to be on stream.
That's why you ask first.
No, you just...
Just an hour in, you're like, oh, by the way, you're on Twitch.
By the way, I'm currently live streaming.
Like an hour in, you just go, hey, chat's asking this.
No, you just did it after the stream. Like, once you're about to say, like, alright, I guess I'm gonna go. Oh, by the way, you were on stream the entire time.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be a massive breach of trust and privacy, and I would get in trouble with HR at the company because, yeah.
I know that sounds like fun.
Sounds like potential firing to me.
You'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta believe.
What are they gonna believe in? Prison. Yeah. Let's not do that. But Jim, I also found out that my car at 120 kilometers per hour gets light steering. Like the front actually starts to feel vague, which is at the same time funny and scary. I enjoyed it. I was just happily speeding along the road at 120, just laughing my ass off because steering is a bit weird now at this speed. Funny. Also, I need to inflate my tires.
I saw something really dumb.
What? A Dutch
You know
politician?
those like, you know those body cam videos like for police?
Yes.
So, a woman was she was speeding, right?
Yeah.
And so the police obviously goes to talk to her. However, she was speeding and then she parked.
Yeah.
And then the police stopped her, right? Like, then they came up there. And she argued they could not fine her because she was parked.
Yep.
And then she called the police to arrest the police.
Yes.
Which didn't quite work out.
Hold on, the police is being really annoying. Let me call the police.
Yeah.
Like, what is it gonna solve? You're basically
So
calling
then it's very funny because then
reinforcements.
the second car, like a second police car comes in, right? And it's like, yeah, what's the situation? Yeah, she was speeding. Well, you're gonna get fined, lady.
All you've done is literally call the reinforcements on yourself.
Yeah. And so then,
Why?
after like a shitload of stalling and swearing, eventually, you know, they fine her, they get her name and shit. And then
Let me guess.
they drive off.
She speeds off. She starts speeding
No, no,
again.
no, no, no. It's worse.
Oh,
It's
how?
much worse. So she drives off and they go after her. And then she stops, like in the middle of the road, basically. And then it's like to the one police officer, she starts yelling that he should fine the other one because he didn't use his like turning lights. And it's like, lady, you were not in the position. And she starts like fucking screaming it. She calls the police a couple more times.
At what point do you just drag her out of the car and
Oh
just
yeah,
arrest her on the spot?
eventually they arrested her because it got like so bad that it became like, you know, what do you call it, disorderly conduct or like.
Yeah, like you just start being really, really annoying out in the open.
Yeah. Oh, and also for harassing a police officer without violence, and for resisting arrest without violence.
Without violence, yes. The without violence part.
Yeah.
Isn't it like verbal? Just couldn't that also be seen as violence, where it's just that
No,
bad?
that's insulting a police officer,
Yeah.
which in America can also be fine, or can also be Could be arrested for that.
Funny thing my mom told me today as well. The speed camera that I drive past every day to and from work has apparently, for the time it has been there, already caught like 400 people speeding.
Okay.
Like, it is an incredibly successful camera because for some reason people just speed there, and I'm like, there's a camera there. I'm not gonna go above 78 kilometers per hour on my speedometer, which is probably 75 or 74. So I'm gonna be under that speed limit when I go past that camera. Only after that I'm gonna start going faster. Because I'm not risking a fine. I'm not paying 200 euros for just, whoopsie, I put my right foot down a little bit too much.
Yeah.
I'm not that dumb.
Well, that's what you think, buddy.
I mean, you're gonna learn from your mistakes. My next one will be huge. Because I'm learning from them and learning how to improve my mistakes to make them better mistakes. But yeah. It's a little bit of a weird... Like, the thing is, right? Even if... Like, my car is not the car to get into a police chase. Because the police cars will overtake you. It is not fast enough to... Like, how am I gonna run away? How am I going to run away from the police? Be more fuel efficient? Just continue driving until they are running out of fuel? But while I'm doing that, they call in reinforcements to take over, and then I'm fucked anyway. So it turns out that a first generation Renault Twingo with 58 horsepower is not the car to use as a getaway car. It is also way too recognizable, but it's also not fast enough to even get away from the police. Is there some stuff on social media? Hold on. I need to look this up if it's on YouTube. No, I don't care. I wanna have. Let me think real quick. Slow getaway cars. Why is it just like... Yeah, you're not getting anything if you look up slow getaway cars on YouTube. My idea was to see if there was a compilation of just people using slow cars as getaway cars. And totally not getting away because the police is just faster and is just outperforming them in any metric.
We recently looked at someone who stole the police car as a getaway car.
Yeah, but imagine, you've seen my car.
Yeah.
Imagine that as a getaway car. You are not getting away. You might as well drive to the police station immediately and basically say, we've robbed this bank. Here's the money.
Isn't that like a Bugs Bunny thing?
What?
I feel like I've seen this somewhere, that some people like robbed the bank. I think it was with Bugs Bunny. They rob the bank and then they go into their getaway car and then like Bugs Bunny is like the getaway driver, but it's Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't think he realized. Yeah, because it was the dude with the red, like, mustache. I forget his name, the little guy with the red mustache.
The little guy with anger issues.
Yeah, that one with the pistols.
Yes.
He robbed the bank, and then Bugs was his getaway driver. But he just didn't drive. He didn't go.
Like getaway driver. Hold on, let me first put my seatbelt on. You know, my seat is
Hold
a little
on.
bit incorrect. Let me change that. All that bullshit. That means I can turn this into a 2-channel one. Do this. But yeah, I should at some point still try and get my
Yeah, I'm right. I am correct. The inside Bugs.
yeah.
Title is based on the movie The Inside Man.
Hmm.
I used to have this on DVD, but I don't. We at some point lost the DVD somehow.
Hmm.
Can I watch this somewhere? Hold on.
It's the internet, you know.
It's only 2 minutes.
Alright, let's see. What do we have? We have a composite, and we're gonna
Oh,
grab that composite
it's
from
only 2 minutes.
this one. Battery is gonna be from this battery. And the throttle goes in there, but I'd rather not test that right now. I could test it right now. Why not? Where is it? Engine control, throttle in. There we go. Alright, let's see what it does. Probably nothing because it's... yeah.
What the fuck?
It doesn't turn on. Yay. Is everything connected? Oh. I know what's wrong with it. I connected it to the wrong thing. I want the starter to be... to that. That makes the one button on the 3 dials one button one, which is
Oh
this
my
one,
God.
useless.
Wait, are all of these on YouTube? Because if so, is the Big Chungus one on YouTube?
Definitely, because that became a big meme. So that it's definitely on the internet.
No, I
because-
know, but I've never been able to find the clip that originates from. Because I had that on DVD, but that DVD is gone. Why did that even become a meme? Because it became a meme so long after that episode.
Wasn't it an episode from like almost from like the 40s?
I don't think it was that old.
Hold on. Let me take a look at. Let me look that up.
Because I think because the one I just like the getaway driver one is oh, that's from New Looney wait, what is that?
Big Chungus age. How
What?
old is? That is definitely. I need to put meme. Let's see. Um, wait, wait. Big Chunk is specifically trademarked by Warner Bros. Uh,
Okay, Discord just shit itself. That's awesome.
let's see. No, I don't consent to your cookies. I want my own. Yep,
Oh yeah, speaking of, I have cookies.
yep. I found the age. It's from Wabbit Twubble. That episode.
Yeah, you're
First
right.
shown on December 20th, 1941.
Damn, it is that old.
It is Second World War old.
Huh.
Yeah.
Don't put it that way.
What? Without context, that sounds quite weird. If you start, if you just randomly said, "Don't put it that way." Why doesn't it light up when I press the button? I want to press it. I want to. Or do I have to blow my ship up again to make it work? Wait, I can use the same scuttle technique as the submarine, which is basically putting a bunch of rockets in there. Like if I put a bunch of hidden rockets somewhere around these edges, you know? That should do the trick, right? You should get hit somewhere. All of a sudden you just have a big boom because all the rockets explode. But it has drawn a rectangle. Let's continue with the logic that is in here. Because it first grabs this one, which... No, I want to have it as a 3, and I want this to be...
But so today we got cookies on my job, and then it was like, what do we do? And it was like, Jim can take them home. Okay. The thing is though, it's not actually cookies. It's like a cake roll,
Ooh.
but I don't have a knife up here.
So you're just shoving
So
it in
should
your
I
mouth?
just like should I just eat the cake roll?
Can I just grab it with your hand, just pull it apart?
Maybe,
Or
yeah.
would it crumb too much?
Maybe, but I a part of me wants to just eat it like it's a you know, like bread.
As in slices, or as just...
Just no, just like a baguette.
You don't cut your baguette?
Well, yeah, but in not. I don't like having it in like small pieces. I like to have like big chunky baguette pieces.
Oh, I have a bad idea. Making
What?
grilled cheese the long way. Instead of cutting your bread vertically, so you have slices, you know how a normal bread slice would look like, you cut it horizontally, so now you have along the entire length of the bread. So you have
Are you
long grilled cheese.
wait? You mean that? You mean as in the
Instead,
whole bread?
instead of slicing it from top to bottom, you slice it from left to right or right to left. So you have very long pieces of bread.
But you mean like with a regular piece of bread, like a
Like,
regular?
let me let me demonstrate it within. Let me show you what I mean within the Stormworks microcontroller symbol drawing thing. So let's say this is your bread, right? This is your loaf of bread. It's a square, well, loaf of bread. Usually people cut their loaf like this, so you get slices of bread, as we know.
Yeah.
But I mean
You
slicing it
wanna
like
do it
this.
like yeah.
Do it
Mm.
long and then make a grilled cheese.
You, you go to the baker and you request this.
Like, can I have my bread sliced horizontally instead of vertically?
I want long slices bread, man.
Well,
You don't understand.
the thing is, one grilled cheese would use a lot of cheese. And I'm all here for it, because cheese. In case you guys haven't figured it out, I'm a big fan of cheese. And I'm also really glad that my body tolerates it. Which means I can clown on the people that are lactose intolerant, because, you know, I can say, oh no, let me take a sip from a dairy-based drink. Which this isn't, sadly, but... Also, Jim. You know what I've decided to start doing again? Which might annoy some people. I'm gonna try and relearn to write in cursive. Like, you know, how we were taught at school when we were a kid. You know, the writing that we had to do. Right now we enter the Lua script again. Let me then get her some Discord notifications because there are a lot of them. Yeah, that one. Then it sets that one to good. This already looks like a mess. Oh, the end is there, so I might want to do this. Wait, what if I remove this end? Will it give an error? Yeah. End. But then I don't actually, if we're drawing stuff here already, I don't need to draw stuff here. Which might be what has been messing it up already. But yeah, the thing about me, I mean, I explained this at the start of the stream. First, the reasons I want to draw in cursive is to, first of all, write fancy. And to potentially confuse and annoy children. It's supposed to fill it in if I press it somewhere in here. But it just isn't, and I can't start my engine because this button doesn't work anymore. Alright, let's see. Let's delete this. So now we just have a touchscreen. We also need, I guess, input dot get number open bracket close bracket, and basically fill in X for anything. This will be fuel equals, of course I don't know which channels these are on, so I'm just going to do this. We're gonna turn this into, well, 10 and 10 works. 20 is at the bottom, so that means 32 height, 64 width. So that means I want to use, to get to the bottom, 32 still. I'm basically going to turn this into 20. Well, this is from the edge, right? This is X, this is left, right. So we want to turn this into like 2. This into 20. This we're going to keep at 20. This we're going to turn to 10. Now the box should be slightly different. Turn it on. Oop. 3. There's an error on line 3 or above. Then narrows it down because this is line 3. Oh, I get it now. It expects a value, it expects a channel, but I put X in there because I don't know what channel it's coming from yet. But that throws a wrench into my plans because it expects something. Yes.
You have a what's it called again?
An empty glass, which allows me to put another mark on the piece of paper. But what do I have?
They say yeah.
Yeah.
You know you shouldn't be throwing wrenches.
There's somebody throw a wrench into my plans.
Right.
Somebody else did it.
Well, then you should fire them.
The problem is, that other person is me.
Exactly. You know not to throw them, Jules.
Jim, we both
It's
know really
dangerous.
well that getting a facio, which is basically just, for those who don't know what it is basically just a license that says I can work safely. Like, I know the rules and I know how to prevent myself from getting injured on the job.
It basically means that you managed to answer
Questions.
mostly very obvious questions and like a few ones that you actually needed an explanation for.
Or like you need to know specific numbers, like your max lifting weight is 21 kilograms.
Yeah.
And yet,
Alright.
you're very easily already told to lift 25.
Let's go attempt the cake roll.
Because, yeah. Having that just means you know how to work safely. Let's just put it that way. Like, you know how to.
Assuming you don't forget.
Yeah, but the license says that you know how to, because you answered questions correctly. Which, if
Yeah.
you pause by just thinking thinking with common sense, then you don't really need the license. Well, you do still need it
Well, but
because
a lot of what
officially,
was on that test was common sense, though.
yeah. Like, are you allowed to stand on the forks of a forklift? No.
Yes.
There's
Are
a
you allowed to lift a forklift with a forklift for more height?
I have seen images of that. Yes. Is it incredibly dangerous? Also,
Yeah,
yes.
because I sent them to you.
Yeah. I did find a meme about a forklift holding up an actual like a plastic fork and saying, "Please, my son is very sick." The forklift offering up its child.
But is the forklift certified?
If you put a forklift on a forklift, I guess you have to operate a forklift. You have to be forklift certified.
Why did that even become like a meme? Like that something is forklift certified?
I don't know, but the meme is going around that you do get bitches if you have a forklift certification.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know how it would attract women more. How you would attract women more if you just say, "I can operate a slow-moving vehicle with forks. I can pick heavy stuff up." Like, how would that matter?
I guess you could say that, like on your like Tinder or something, you can say that you are capable of lifting heavy loads.
My mind goes the wrong way. Uh, like, if you see it on a men's profile, then I guess, like, it could indicate the preference. And for a woman, it could indicate an ability. Or for a man, it can indicate an ability as well, depending on.
Wait, what are you talking about?
You know how weird I think?
Okay, so eating this cake roll like this is a terrible idea.
Why?
Because I can't really tear it, as you said, because it's a roll. But it's also slightly too big to like eat like.
Well, start from the side then. I don't know its length either, so I don't know how. You have calipers, right? You have measuring equipment.
Like 10 centimeters
In length or in diameter?
in length. How what the fuck? What's that kind of quick? How big do you think this shit is?
10 centimeters in diameter. That is still quite a possibility.
Oh right, I forgot. There's a new Silent Hill game.
And I should, and I would know because I have a tape measure in my hand.
I just realized this is not 10 centimeters. This is like
Just grab
20.
20. Just grab a ruler.
Where's my tape measure? My measure tape, whatever.
You grab a tape, grab your calipers while you're at it, so you can measure the diameter accurately.
I don't need the diameter. Where is my?
Wait, RPS?
I have a tape measure somewhere here.
Let me have fuel set the fuel on that one.
I found my safety glasses.
Temp and RPS. So battery's not even in there. That's fuel.
Where is my tape measure? Where did I put that? Wait, is it in my closet?
That's why we have like 4 of them, and I have one in my room. My calipers are in my bag, I think. No, they're also here. Yep. Right, so fuel gets
No.
number 1.
Oh, it's right here. It's on my desk. It's okay.
Jim, if something is right in front of you, you are not going to see it. That is a general rule of thumb when searching for something. You are not going to look.
It's 20 centimeters. That was correct.
Let me actually measure that.
And the diameter is like about 8.
That's. Just take a big bite.
Well, there's one other problem.
What?
It's a little bit late.
Is it already gone?
No, I mean like it's a bit late to be eating cake.
Never.
Like a cake this big on my own.
Never. It's never too late to eat cake.
Push you on cake.
I'm not gonna drive over to your place right now. And I'm busy this weekend. And next weekend, you're welcome to drop by to where I am at that point.
Well, I don't have time to go to London.
Well, you have your weekend, right? It's just like 4 hours to get to St. Pancras International from Amsterdam, so...
Right.
You know, just a weekend, just you go Saturday. Or you go really early on Saturday and you just leave on Saturday evening again. And then you're basically gone for like almost 24 hours from home. Because your place does have a decent connect. Like if you're actually at a train station, you have a decent connection to Amsterdam. I mean, every place has.
No. The whole right side of the country does not have a good connection to Amsterdam.
Well, then you're going to Utrecht, but...
If you're like in Utrecht or Groningen and you need to go to Amsterdam, you need to go like 3 hours around.
Yeah, because we're not apparently not building railways across a dike, and that's
Yeah, because that one railway that they've been wanting to build for years now, and that they saved up like a couple billion euros for to do, they now took that money to build a pointless railway near the German border.
Yes. Speaking of the Germans, they are going to improve their railway network.
Are they gonna connect to that railway that we're about to build?
I don't know, but as far as I know, they are actually somewhat going to it's still going to take a lot of time, but they are wanting to get rid of most of the delays, which in Germany is currently over I think over a third of all trains are delayed.
Nice.
How? Well, I actually do know how, because they have useless switching of trains. Like, I went to Germany by train at some point, and when we arrived, the trains went all the way. You know, they stopped and it continued on. But for some weird reason, the trains that when we went to get back, trains that came from Germany didn't go through to the Netherlands, they stopped and then went back, and we had to wait for the delayed train from the Netherlands to come to our place, and then go back again. Couldn't they just continued on? They probably could have, but Germany being Germany, and yeah, annoying, but it is what it is. Right, we have the RPS, and then we also need the temperatures, which is temp. Do I need temp? I don't need temp, actually. Wait, what do we have on the dials then? RPS, fuel, and temperature. Temperature's unnecessary because has been moved to the monitors here for each manifold. So if one bank gets hotter than the other, which means I rid myself of that one, I guess. That's great, actually. Because that allows me to change it with battery, which I'll just replace with the word bat. Because, yeah. Oh, it did not save. It didn't save. Oh, no. Why? Why didn't it save? Which also means that this gets to be a number again. Yay. Numbers. Numbers. Who doesn't love them? Oh. Whoa. Whoa. There is no Control Z in this. Why, Stormworks? You're right. You're busy with code. You cannot do Control Z and undo. If you undo, it's undone. You cannot undo it again. Well, you cannot undo it again. You can only undo it, which means you do it, and then you realize, oh no, and then everything is gone. Bat is number 3. Hello, Gaming Baron. What? No. Yeah. What? Yeah. Ah. Yes. It has to grab 3 and 4. Get number 3. It has to grab 3 and 4 because it grabs X and Y. So this has to grab 3 and this has to grab 4. Which is bad because if I use 1, 2, 3 here to get the fuel, RPS, and battery, then I cannot use these 2 inputs to read that because that would negate the entire thing. So I guess we're starting on channel 9 and do 9, 10, 11. 9, 10, and 11. Let me unlock my phone real quick, check some news. I'm gonna be really, like, specific here, but it's the wrong way around. The touching me, touching you. It should be like that. Yeah, it's just me that listen to the song too much. I was gonna look at news, because looking at news is funny. At the same time, incredibly depressing because it's in the news. Um, what else do we have? Apparently they keep find. Apparently they found a skull in China. Wait. Hold on. BMW is recalling 14,000 cars in the Netherlands. More than a million
Yeah,
worldwide.
I heard about that.
Um, problem with the starter motor, which... Oh. This really is just bad. It's just a BMW. Moisture can creep in, can get into the starter engine and then the starter motor and just ruin it. It can stop starting. It can cause fires or overheating or short. It can cause electrical shorts. 1.2 million. Uh. Ah. That is a decent thing about modern cars. They're being contacted by their dealer, if they can't be contacted, they will send a message through the infotainment system. So your screen where you have your radio, your sat nav, all that stuff will just be like saying, "Yo, bring your car away," so it doesn't catch on fire. Uh, Apparently, the British are gonna have to carry ID with them at all times. Finally.
Wait, they didn't?
Apparently not. Apparently, the British were like, "We don't want that. We don't want the ability for the police to basically come up to you and say, 'Identify yourself.'"
The fuck kind of country is that?
It's the UK. What do you expect from them? Competence?
I mean,
Because we all know you're not getting that. This will be... Does it have to be as pressed? It doesn't really have to be as pressed, right? Like the input X and input Y is important because that is actually this. So this bit is this. But the is pressed is just a variable. Yeah, the British are weird. Apparently, pizzeria didn't just deliver food; it also delivered drugs. You know how they found out? They got an anonymous tip, multiple. So cops just did it themselves.
Okay.
Like they're actually like, all right, let's see if it's actually possible to get hard drives at a pizzeria. Oh yes, it is possible. Oh well, guess we're arresting them now. Uh. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the news has. Oh yeah, Spotify's apparently. Spotify's attacking AI, removing. They've already removed 75 million songs because AI music is just. It can sound good, but no. I guess if I call it IP start. And then IP start. This is IP RPS plus. IP RPS add or up, which is going to be on 2. Then we're going to Control Z that one, Control V it, put it on 3, and then say down. Huh. You know, Jim, you know the US is already messed up, right? It can get worse. The US used, or actually the White House, because it was posted by official accounts, posted a video which involved Pokemon, and they did not have the permission to use those assets from like didn't get permission from the Pokemon Company International to use their intellectual property because they tried to portray ICE, you know, the organization that seems to just arrest everybody on the street for whatever reason and being thrown out of the country. They tried to portray them as Ash, you know, the protagonist, known for his basically like kindness and, you know, being nice and everything. Yeah, the US is kind of weird. Oh, apparently it isn't the first time the the White House used somebody's intellectual property without permission. Yay. Yeah. Right now we have our inputs, we have our outputs. Yeah, alright, right. X input Y. Glass is in the way again. I need to clean up my desk. This is 2. This is 20. This is 20. This is 10. Right now, with everything labeled, I should be able to spawn it in. And it should potentially work. Potentially, though. I'm not entirely sure. Welcome to Lewis Script, where I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm doing it anyway. Blue. 3. It goes wrong on 3. Where it tries to get a value, but it doesn't get a value. So 3 or above is getting a weird. 3. It is on line 3. It tries to get 9, which is called battery. Ooh, have I not renamed them? Have I not named battery fuel again? Fuel. No, this has to be RPS. This has to be RPS. Battery. Oh, capital B, please. There we go. Fuel RPS battery. It goes in here. Starts at 9, does 10, 11, then goes into the script. Should be able to read those. Hopefully. And then we have that. This one should be the same. So you have fuel, RPS battery. Those are 3 inputs on 9, 10, and 11. If your input X and Y, which is 3 and 4. If pressed start. If pressed RPS up. If pressed RPS down. IP start. And then we do stuff. Then I have to mess around with spacing a little bit to get it right. But once it is right, it should work. Just writing and blue. Like, welcome to the data that you're getting through this monitor. You have meters per second, knots, kilometers per hour, miles per hour. But I'm going to deafen myself real quick. Because that means that I'm going to press another button. Because I am a bicycle. I'm too tired. But yeah, I'm gonna end it here because time and I'm tired. I should go to bed. So yeah, if you like what you saw and want to see more of it, make sure to let me know. All feedback is welcome, and of course, every like, follow, subscribe, comment, view is already enough. And yeah, next stream will be not next week, because I'll be in London at that point. So yeah, you won't. I am tired. Words are difficult. I won't be able to stream, so next week is gonna be a lack of streaming for me. So the next stream will be the 8th of October. And it will probably be Dero Valley again. Once again trying to get to the DE6, which we tried last time. Then I lost a lot of money because it derailed. Because of one corner. And yeah. Yeah, I wish everybody a very pleasant evening, night, morning, or afternoon. And for me, goodbye.